say hello to the baby Audi, the Q2. It has been a long time coming. In fact, we expected this to come to India around 3 years ago, but it's finally here in 5 variants. Prices starting from 35 lakh rupees going up all the way to 48 lakh rupees. This is the top of the line technology variant, but all versions of the Q2, they get the 2-litre TFSI engine mated to Quattro all-wheel drive and the DSG twin clutch gearbox. The 5 trim options of the Q2 start with the standard at 35 lakh rupees, then the premium at 40.9 lakh rupees, the premium plus 1 at 44.6 lakh rupees, the plus 2 at 45.1 lakh rupees, and this technology variant that we are testing at 48.9 lakh rupees. So what do you get? With the standard, you get cloth seats, LED lighting, parking sensors, and the sunroof is an option. The premium adds Audi's MMI infotainment system, virtual cockpit, rear parking camera, and the smartphone interface. Premium Plus One is the feature additions on the premium grade with Audi Drive Select, cruise control, leatherette sport seats, and a better sound system. Premium Plus 2 is the styling upgrade on Premium with the addition of black styling package, ambient lighting, S-Line exterior package, 5-spoke V-style alloy wheels, and the flat-bottom steering wheel. And of course, technology marries everything in the Premium Plus 1 and 2 grades. Now you will point out that the Q2's MQB platform is also shared with the Volkswagen T-Roc and the Skoda Karoq, but those are front-wheel drive. The Q2 gets the higher horsepower engine, 2-litre TFSI engine, makes 187 bhp and 320 Newton meters of torque, and Quattro all-wheel drive as standard. Now let me walk you through the styling of the Q2. Now this is the top of the line technology variant and it gets that blacked out styling package. So blacked out grille, a lot of blacked out bits around the car which improves the aesthetic appeal. All versions of the Q2 get 17-inch wheels and tires as standard. S-Line, that's the styling pack. These are the blacked out bits on the wing mirror, on the C-pillar. The styling, it does look attractive, but a lot of you will point out that there is an updated Q2 that has been shown internationally. We spoke to Audi India's boss, Balbir Singh Dillon.
Right now, when we stand as of today, this is the model which is available across the world. Yes, we have showcased the next gen, the model improvement, but that is not launched anywhere in the world. So that is going to come sometime next year. So what we have today across the world is the same models. What we have is what is available across the world.
That update, while it has been shown, is not yet on sale. This is still the version that is on sale internationally, and this is still the version that we get here in India. Also, this is not assembled in India. This is a CBU, so it's a fully built unit. Out at the rear, this is an attractive looking car. It's small, it is compact, it is after all the baby in the Audi range. It's got twin exhaust tips, hints at sporty appeal. The boot, decently large, not that big, but decently large. You don't get an auto close function. After all, this is supposed to be affordable, but we will get to that. 40 TFSI, that is Audi's nomenclature for their engines, which is mated to their cars and the size, and which is all too confusing. All you need to remember is that this is the 2-litre TFSI engine and Quattro all-wheel drive. Now, space at the back. This is not all that spacious, but it is all right. So the seat is set for my driving position. I can't fit in at the back, though my knees are touching the seat. The headroom is just about adequate, and the shoulder room is good enough for 2. So this is a 4-seater. 5 will be a squeeze. It also has the transmission tunnel because it is Quattro. But the quality, the fit finish does look good. The grab handles, that also feels premium, as an Audi ought to be. But let's find out how the Q2 is like to drive. First impressions, very chuckable, very nimble. Obviously the size, it's so small, the smallest Audi I've ever driven. And it really is fleet-footed. The Quattro powertrain, it enables you to put down the power earlier, so you don't have the traction control cutting in like it does with the T-Roc and the Karoq. So you can get on the gas earlier, it bites, you can fire it out towards the apex, and when you hit these bad patches of road which come at you sight unseen, the ride quality is very good. So while I did criticize the 17-inch wheels for being a little undertired in terms of the visual appeal, for ride quality, it makes a big difference. It does make this very comfortable. Now this is an SUV, so even though the seat is set to the lowest setting, you still get a high seating position, so you get a good view of the road ahead. It feels SUV-ish in terms of the viewing position, in terms of the visibility. It's got paddles behind the steering wheel for the twin clutch gearbox. Audi calls the DSG S-tronic, so that's S-tronic written out here. And it's lively. That is actually the right word to describe the Q2. It's lively, it's enthusiastic, it's comfortable. The engine, when you rev it hard, it sounds a little growly, so it's got a nice note to it. So to drive, the Q2 is an eager little puppy. But what about the rest of this little SUV? Now, one thing, these seats are leatherette, they're not leather, and leatherette never feels as nice as leather. These seats are not cooled either, so eventually your backside will start to sweat. The second is the infotainment. Now this infotainment is Audi's old infotainment screen, so it's not touch. The graphics are old. Even the virtual cockpit, again, this is the earlier generation virtual cockpit from Audi, so the graphics now are much nicer. This is not that hot, and I must say that this cabin feels a bit dated. We are now used to much more modern cabins, whereas this needs an update. The dashboard plastics, now these are soft touch plastics, so actually there is a premium touch to it. The aircon vents, they actually operate quite well. They look also nice. You get the drive mode selector switch out here, so I've got it in dynamic right now because we are flinging it around corners. And the dynamic mode, it makes the engine and the gearbox more eager. No change to the suspension because these are running on steel springs, not air suspension. And you can really lean on the car. It's not playful, obviously, because it is Quattro, and Audis in general aren't all that playful. So it's not something that you can slide around and everything, and SUVs in general are not meant for that either. But that thing considered, this feels like a Polo with better ground clearance, with more power, and with a little more enthusiasm, which is high praise indeed, because as you guys know, we love the Polo, even though it is a decade old, which you all keep reminding us about. But to drive, it is the nicest hatchback. This now is the nicest small SUV to drive. How does it compare with the T-Roc and the Karoq? More enthusiastic, more grip, more power, even a little better in terms of the ride comfort. So overall, this is much nicer than the cousins that it is based on. So the MQB platform, which is shared between the Karoq and the T-Roc, this is the best version of it. So our verdict on the Q2, where do we stand with this baby Audi? Now 48 lakh rupees for something as small as the Q2 is asking a bit too much, especially since this is a CBU, so the higher registration tax will make for an even higher on-road price. But we also know that there is an update for the Q2 that has been shown internationally, that will go on sale very soon internationally, and I think that will also come to India very soon. So what Audi is doing right now is testing the waters to see what kind of response something this small will get from the market, from the buyers, and if the response is good, then they can very soon start to assemble the updated Q2 in India. Assembly will also help to drop down the prices significantly, so then make it more cost competitive and then grow volumes, because that's what Audi needs right now. Needs to improve their brand image, get it back to what it was in the past, and also get more volumes. And the Q2 can do that, but it needs a new facelift to come in and needs better pricing. Otherwise, to drive, if you're looking for a small compact SUV that is great to drive, the Q2 really ticks all those boxes.
Subscribe to the Evo India channel and hit the bell icon to keep pace with the thrill of driving.